Hello everyone, welcome to another edition of Serious Social Live. Today I am joined by a lovely guest. I always love having someone to chat to on a Friday. Welcome Sophie.
Hiya.
Hello. Sophie is an account manager at IF and she today is bringing us everything we need to know on TikTok. Well, maybe not everything, a lot of things we need to know on TikTok. So she's been looking it all up, revising, got lots of tips for everybody. So I hope you're looking forward to it. Grab a pen. We are going to be talking about some best practice advice for brands, because if you haven't figured it out, TikTok is massive and you need to decide whether you want to be on it, need to be on it as a brand. As of the beginning of July 2021, so this month, TikTok has had over 2.6 billion downloads worldwide and has about 700 million monthly users, including me and Sophie. But don't follow us. We also have an IF TikTok if you want to go and see our monthly roundups of our social snapshot or some people running about in dinosaur outfits. I'll leave you to go figure that out on your own. So obviously TikTok being so big, lots of brands want to figure out if they should be on it. And we need to look at the bigger picture when it comes to TikTok. They are just another social platform. Don't be super scared of it. But let's talk first, Soph, about content, because there's lots of different types of content that we can create on social, and TikTok's no exception. So do you want to talk us through some of the different types of content that might be relevant for brands to look at?
Yeah, sure. So there are 5 main content areas that brands can really focus on. So there's challenges, storytelling, trends, education, and influencers. And each piece of style of content are great for different reasons. So to just quickly run through it. So challenges these are usually started by creators with large followings or brands that kind of put a bit of paid ad spend behind it. They're usually accompanied by a hashtag, and they help with reach and a great way to fast track a brand's growth on the app. Then storytelling is this is great for brands or creators to get creative, grab attention, and maintain engagement with viewers as well. Not to mistake it to stories on Instagram. Storytelling is literally start, middle, and end, an actual story. Then we've got the trends. So jumping on a trending sound, dance, filter, topic, whatever it may be. That's usually accompanied by a hashtag, and they're easily found through discovery page or on the For You page. And again, help with reach, like the challenges. The education videos are extremely popular on TikTok, and they're usually watched in their entirety. So they're actually quite short, like 15 to 30 seconds, but it helps brands to get themselves across, dive deeper into an important topic, and also drive engagement. And then the last one, influencers, obviously, like everything, they allow brands to drive engagements and awareness in a short period of time, and they're great for both organic and paid.
It's interesting, the education piece, because I know that there's a huge following of the hashtag learn on TikTok, which people don't think necessarily that you'd go to TikTok to figure out things, but a little bit like YouTube used to be back in the day. It's used really for people kind of looking up things, learning how to cook, learning how to clean. Clean talk is huge. So you can get loads of different tips and tricks, but also it can be really useful for education sector to get on board with as well. So okay, great. Obviously, each different type of content is going to work differently for brands. How about let's just look at some best practice tips generally that brands could take away about using TikTok?
Yeah, so I would say first off, be personal, because personalization is key on TikTok, as it is with every other social platform as well, because audiences want to hear about your business. So adding depth into your videos can help your audience understand sort of who you are and what you stand for, and then your videos will reach the right audiences and receive greater engagement with that. And then, but on that as well, brands then need to experiment and explore the different styles of content, because sticking to just one style that only suits one audience can really limit your reach. Mm-hmm. So you need to kind of switch it up a bit as well. Then I would say clarity is also key on TikTok. So the app is so fast paced, it's important to be clear and concise. So brands should write clear captions so the audience know what to expect without giving away too much. And obviously you only have a really short caption, so it needs to be snappy. And And then with that as well, make use of the different features available. So sort of like auto captions as well. And then the last one, I think, which is probably the most important, is to not force it. Because obviously it's so tempting to want to jump on like every trend, every sound. But if it's not right for your brand, it doesn't meet your values or your messaging, then it's best to just drop it and move on to the next piece.
Yeah, definitely. That bit about being personal or switching it up to different topics is really challenging for brands, because unless you didn't know, guys, the For You page is the algorithmic feed that you get on TikTok. And effectively, it works by continually showing you more content of the type of content that you've already watched. So if you watch a lot of cleaning videos, I don't do that, honestly. Sometimes you fall into sides of TikTok that you're not expecting. And if you watch a lot of cleaning videos by mistake, you get served more and more and more cleaning videos. So if brands are trying to get in on a specific topic, you need to think about how that's going to play out in the For You page. There is also then the second feed that you've all got on TikTok as well, which is people that you already follow. So obviously you want people to follow your brand, but it tends to be a bit less popular. People just want to kind of be entertained and see what's going to come up. And yeah, the clarity thing is really key, isn't it? Keeping all of those captions really short. The character count is really small compared to most of the others, because really they want you to communicate your message in the video rather than in the text underneath. So that's a bit about content. How about the strategy side of it? And this is where we get technical, because TikTok for Business are super helpful, and they have 3 pillars that they say you should be thinking about when using TikTok for a brand, which are organic beat, paid peaks, and creator partnerships. So let's start with looking at organic. It's the easiest one to kind of get involved in. What do you think businesses can achieve from an organic strategy? What will make them successful?
Yeah, so organically, from the offset, creating a business account opens up more options for brands. So you get real-time metrics on content performance and audience insights. The limiting factor, obviously, is the restriction on sounds because of the licensing, but there's plenty of ways to kind of create engaging content on the platform. And it gives us marketers a way to sort of challenge ourselves and find something that can still jump on a certain trend without using that specific sound. Mm-hmm. So overall, the organic objective of TikTok really is to keep your audience engaged. So I would say there's kind of 3 steps to follow. First off, I would say maintain a steady stream of content to stay at the front of your mind of your audience and increase your known presence on the app. Obviously, like you said, if people click on the follower feed, then it will be easier to see that. Secondly, it's important to monitor the analytics available and just to discover who you're engaging with. This can then help to find out how they're reacting to your content, to improve your strategies, and also drive future content ideas as well. And then finally, like all other platforms, community management is needed to build connections. So you need to interact with your audience by responding to comments, but also kind of have a look and discover other profiles and videos and like and engage with them to increase your awareness and hopefully your following as well. I have found that on some brand accounts, if you just go on the For You page, people that follow you, it flags it there. So it's always good to then kind of see who that audience is as well. And I think on the comments, like Instagram, links don't work. So if someone asks a question, respond to them there or make a video and respond to it that way. And I think that's probably the best way to sort of keep the conversations flowing as well.
Yeah, that's quite a new feature, isn't it? Well, maybe a couple of months old, so not that new, but replying to a comment with a video is great, because then if someone's asking a question or lots of people are asking the same question, you can address that in one video. Super simple. And then, yeah, like Instagram, I guess you want to think about having a link tree or some kind of holding for all of your links on your profile, so that if you're trying to drive traffic in some way, then you can do it like that. Yeah. Great. And so with most strategies, we've just talked about organic, but social is pay to play. You can't always get the reach you want, especially if you've got a new product or a new brand, just by doing organic. So if we look at paid social, TikTok has a couple of different paid solutions. They have in-feed videos, which is what it says on the tin, branded hashtags challenge, which they will help you create, and they would also help you create things like branded takeovers. They have top view ads and also branded effects. Now, some of these are not cheap. They are premium options, and we're talking, you know, expensive premium options like you might see on Twitter for their sort of premium options, or YouTube for their header videos, that kind of thing. But auction is still an option. So don't feel like you're priced out. You can just play in the auction just like pretty much any other social platform. Obviously, we want to keep the content aligned between organic and paid. You can't just crack on and put loads of adverts out and no organic and expect that TikTok's going to work for you. I don't think. You want it to align with your marketing goals, right?
Yeah, definitely. And due to the fast nature of the platform, your ads need to be compelling in order to receive the desired results. And compared to organic, I feel like they can be a little more challenging than always on content as well.
Yeah, definitely. And TikTok themselves, if you haven't seen them, say, don't make ads, make TikToks. It's actually really important to be working in the platform the way that people want you to present yourselves, not with just kind of slapping an ad on, because most people don't like ads at all. Actually, they want them to be personalized, they want them to be interesting, and more often than not they want to be entertained, because that's what a lot of consumers are on social to do anyway. Obviously, sometimes when you look at something like LinkedIn or some other platforms, they might be doing some networking, but entertainment is absolutely key. And when it comes to producing ads, you want to think like you're making a TikTok, but you also need to think about the value of that production. If you're doing the big ticket premium stuff, it could be, you need to think about it like a TV ad, obviously in portrait. If you're doing auction ads, you might want to start on the side of more authentic TikTok content, use some brand advocates, get the right vernacular within that platform. So have you got any best practice tips, so for paid?
Yeah, I think following on from the whole bit of don't make ads, make TikToks, I think brands need to be authentic. So they need to stay true to themselves and keep their messaging consistent and making sure that the content resonates with their audience without screaming ad. And then obviously you need to make sure it's thumb stopping. Like we said, it's such a fast paced app that you need to make sure that the users stop in their track, and you need to maintain that viewership. I think even more so than what you would on the likes of Facebook or Twitter as well. So to do that, I would say you need to center all the important elements of your videos, because of the captions and the icons, it can get cut off on the bottom and the side. So that's really important. Then I would say you need to make sure it's accessible, because not all audiences consume content in the same way. So you need to make use of the features, like we mentioned earlier, the auto captions as well. So just for example, if there's someone that's a bit hard of hearing, they can at least still follow along with that as well. And then finally, I would always say call to action. If you have an action that you want your audience to follow, make sure it's strong and make sure it's clear so that you can get your desired results.
Absolutely. Be strong with the call to action. Tell them what you want them to do, and they will be much more likely to actually do it. And for sure, plan for portrait. And I mean, if anyone's producing ads for social or content for social and you're not thinking about planning for portrait and how will it render down into that portrait frame, then you're definitely missing a trick. You've got to add that into your process. Fab. So to summarize everything we've discussed today, there are probably 4 tips that we'd pull out for you guys for brand success. First, set yourself goals. Make sure you know what the business aims and objectives are so that you can line up what you choose to do on TikTok with those. Stay up to date with the trends. You need to be on the app. You've got to spend a bit more time in there, make sure that you know what's going on, and stay on top of what your community is interested in and what they're doing, what they're consuming. Be consistent with your content. You do need to post a steady stream of organic if you're trying to build up that way. That might feel really daunting, but if you just build up the content stream first, and then as you release it, consistency in the background, keep producing more so that you've got some to come up, that's probably the best option. And then finally, analytics. This is something that is often missed by brands at the first stage. You need to look at the analytics. What's it actually doing? How is it working? And if it's not working, change it up so that you can make sure that you're optimizing for success. So that's about all from us for today. Thanks for joining me, Sophie. Hope you enjoyed speeding through all those tips.
Yeah, I know. I mean, we could literally go on for hours talking about this all, but got work to do.
We have, yes, and so is everyone watching. So yeah, we actually are going to produce a blog for this Monday, and it will be on our blog, so you can go and read a little bit more detail. Obviously, if you've got any other questions, you can get in touch with us directly via our social profiles or find our emails. You can also watch all of our Serious Social lives on YouTube, or you can listen to podcasts. So head over to wherever you get your podcasts and subscribe to that, and you'll get everything. There's a huge library now because we've been doing this for over a year. So you'll find lots of different topics that you can get on board with. So next week, Katie Howell will be live here. So we're going to see you then. But for now, thanks, Sophie, and we'll see you all soon.
Thank you.